Welcome back, YouTube. So we have the F-150 on the lift. You saw Sierra taking the axles out, putting the diff in yesterday, torquing it down. This actually would be a one-day job if we could actually get parts in our part of the world around here.
Yeah.
One of the most popular vehicles on the road, an F-150.
When do we get on the lift?
Monday.
Saturday?
Saturday dropped off, Monday.
Monday on the lift.
Monday on the lift, it's now Wednesday. It's not because we don't want to get it done. Because we waited a day for clutches and steels for the differential, which I'm going to talk about. And we can't get backing plates and parking brake shoes loaded anywhere. So they were special order. Caleb got the front end work done in a few hours, which was fairly simple, but you have a very popular truck that they have that in stock. And it's very popular that these trucks have high mileage on them, right? Because they're reliable. What are you looking at? Is there something on my face? My ear?
I was taking my time on it too, because we didn't really have a whole lot of other work. There was no sense in blazing through that just to sit down and do nothing.
So most commonly with a high mileage limited slip differential is a rear differential chatter or some strange noises, and it's almost like a If you ever driven a high mileage Subaru that's never been maintenance for differential services, they are one of the most popular to feel a rear differential chatter. Differentials today have a high failure rate because they hold less than a quart of oil and are under such extreme torque and power demands, plus the demands of the consumer beating the crap out of them. Now that you just call that normal driving habits today. So when they define normal services, that normal service was defined probably in the 70s and the 80s. It's not normal for today. It's just like it's not normal for the entire population to be smoking weed in New Jersey, but it is becoming normal now. It's kind of normal that you smell it everywhere and people are lined up in the stores throwing their money out, just behavior. So this vehicle here I wanted to show, I don't know if anyone has ever shown why it chatters, but just like your transmission or your manual transmission, automatic transmission, or manual transmission, there is a clutch of some type and steels. So they call this a friction, and then this is a steel. And then what happens is as these wear, they start to turn against each other. So they're under extreme pressure, and then they actually turn against each other. And then what happens is as they wear, they start to slip, and that's what you're feeling. It's like thump, 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 thump. And then once it gets so worn, the rotors and axles start to slide out and start contacting other things that they shouldn't be. But the first sign of you having issues is the rear differential chatter. And sometimes when you turn, it is very like thump, 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 thump.
And feels like it's hesitating.
That too, and it feels like maybe you have a brake that's stuck too.
Yeah.
And you possibly could have a combination of both depending on the condition of the vehicle and how you maintain it. But I'm going to wipe one of these steels down and show you what is going on. You can almost see. So I'm going to point these out to you. Do you see the clean spot there? So that is wow. That's a spot on the friction, the steel, that hasn't been wiped by the friction. So you can see that shiny spot. So consider this a brake rotor, right? This is slipping so bad that it's starting to discolor and warp this clutch plate, or this clutch steel. So let me show that again. So right there, the clutch plate, the friction is going over the steel part. So that part right there. And then if you look around it, you'll see that another spot is here. So then you have high and low spots in the steel. And then you can see where the clutch here pretty much wasn't slipping right here. So you can tell by how this is not wiped away, right? So the clutch imprint of the clutch pads was stuck on this one, but slipping on that one. So this is just one. So I'm gonna take you through the whole clutch pack. Sometimes, if you catch this early, you can band-aid it with a friction modifier and a fluid service. And then you can see here that this clutch, I'm gonna start wiping away. This clutch, between the clutch pucks, is full of debris, which helps push the clutches apart, right? It fills up with the friction and steels and wear in between these clutch plates, and that acts as a slipper for this clutch. You follow me? So this debris that we're seeing, that we're wiping out, watch. I'm going to wipe this debris out. You can see it. Okay. You'll see all that debris. Now I'm going to wipe all that debris out. See, now you can see that it's clean. That debris is filling in between the clutch frictions, and then it's not the same exact material as this, and different temperatures will make it do this. So sometimes you may hear that noise, and then sometimes you may not. It's because of the changes in all the different materials. But this clutch is full of debris, causing issues. Now, is there a way for you to clean this out? Maybe if you fill your rear with acetone and gasoline, you might be able to remove some of it, but I'm going to say you're probably not. So this is the friction side, and you can see that it has basically brake pad in different positions. And you can see in here it's full of debris. And like I said, on this one, it wasn't slipping on this side of the steel, but it was slipping on this side of the steel. So let's get into another steel. Let me show you that. And then I'm going to show you a steel. So this goes on the bevel gear, okay, inside in the differential, the planetary. So then this side here, same condition. You can see that the friction material the steel has been wiped, but it has less high and low spots in it. It almost looks like there's pitting in it. Yeah, there is pitting in it. There's pitting in it, and you can see where it started to wear and slip on that side. And you can see where this side here doesn't look like this side. So you can see where the clutch friction was slipping on this one because it doesn't have the imprint, right, that it hasn't moved in a long time. So here's another steel that's beat. And we're going to get into another clutch that's just full of muck and yuck from not changing the differential fluid regularly enough. Damage is already done, there's no saving it. So let's get another steel, and we're just going to see the pattern inside of here. So when people say, oh, can you just change the fluid on it? Chances are you're past that point. You should have been doing it every 30,000 miles or less. So here's another steel that was completely slipping, and you can tell by the imprint in it. And this one was slipping a lot. All right, so let's get you one that was, so you have a stare and compare. So friction imprint hasn't been slipping. Friction that's been slipping on the steel. This is slipping on both sides of the steel. And then another clogged clutch. So as the clutches and steels wear, that makes tolerances greater than it should be, and then it only multiplies with nasty fluid filling up your clutch and making it slip worse. So let's wipe this steel down.
She can't get touches for 2 bay until like noon. But so he's gonna hang out until then because he's Delaware. But you want me to just do the oil change on that and then back it out until
finish the upper power steering line.
Okay.
Here's another steel. You can see slipping, polished and slipping. Right, you can see that this steel has still more of the imprint left from the clutch. You see that? So this just gives you, hey. Now all the clutches have friction material on them. Not one of them is completely worn out. But the friction is so contaminated with the contaminants from breakdown and makes it even worse. So it amplifies it. So that's another clutch that's failed because of improper maintenance. And these do just wear, but how do you reduce the wear? Change the oil more frequently. Change the gear oil more frequently. Another steel. You can see that the imprint, right? I'm going to show you again. Wasn't slipping. Was slipping. And slipping. This is another steel. You can see the imprint is still kind of there on the one on my top finger, but you can see the wear pattern on it. So another steel slipping. Another clutch full of debris. Slid another steel out. Another steel, you can see that there. Same setup as your automatic transmission, clutches and steels. All right, you can see that it just, once it starts slipping and then you start transferring the material into the steels and clutches, this problem only amplifies. So if you're towing an aggressive driver on bad, dirty fluid, once these steels and frictions get hotter than they should on worn out oil, gear oil, and contamination, it actually impregnates the metal and the clutch fibers. Another clogged friction. And we're just going to finish this video up. I got like 2 more to show you. Another dirty friction. Not one of the frictions were completely worn out. There's still friction material, just that they're so clogged with dirty material, dirty fluid. And once it impregnates the metal and the clutches,
it's game over.
It's game over. It's only a matter of time before you have this problem. And how this is all avoided? Change your differential fluid every 30,000 miles. I mean, here's a chunk of skank right here. I'm going to scrape it off with my finger. Scraped off. So that's just like cooked gear oil and contamination. Now this clutch steel here, look how fried this steel is. Coincidentally, right, the side that I just pulled the chunkiest sludge off is the worst steel. Because once this gets impregnated, once this gets so hot, the pores open up in the metal, and then that transfers into the clutch and the steel, and it's game over.